All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into something pretty fascinating. Blockchain, but not just in the abstract. Not just the theory.
Right.
We're talking about real-world applications in a pretty old-school industry, oil and gas.
Yeah.
So think pipelines, oil rigs, and then layer on things like digital contracts and almost like robot negotiations.
Yeah, it is interesting to see such a technological leap.
It's a huge leap, yeah.
In an industry that's been around for so long and really hasn't changed a whole lot in its fundamental ways.
It's ripe for disruption, though, right? I mean, this
Absolutely,
is an
yeah.
industry that could really benefit from some of these advances.
Yeah, and we're seeing it. I mean, this isn't just theoretical anymore. It's actually happening.
That's why we're diving in. We've got a stack of articles here talking about how companies are actually using this tech to completely change the game.
It's fascinating how blockchain, which most people still associate with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's like the first thing you think of, Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. But it's finding this foothold in such a traditional industry, and it's not just dabbling. They're really going after some of the biggest issues in oil and gas.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a sector that's all about contracts and transactions.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And tracking things. I mean, it's a perfect match when you think about it.
It really is. I mean, and you start to, peel back the layers and you see just how much sense it makes.
Well, and one thing that came up as I was looking through this material, I don't know if you saw this one article.
Yeah.
But there's a company, GuildOne, and they're already claiming to have solved a problem that's plagued this industry forever. Royalty disputes.
Oh, yeah.
They're using something called a smart contract. Are you familiar with this?
Very familiar. Yeah, GuildOne is definitely a company to keep an eye on in this space. They've built this whole system, and this contracts technology you mentioned is at the heart of it.
Contracts, okay.
Yeah, think of it like a digital contract that automatically enforces itself when certain conditions are met. So no more, back and forth, he said, she said about, well, did you receive the payment? Did, was it the right amount?
Yeah, all that messy stuff, yeah.
All that's gone, yeah.
Okay, so less legal battles, I get it. But how does it actually work in the real world? Like, give me an example.
Sure. So they actually put this into practice with something they call the royalty ledger, and this runs on a blockchain platform called Corda.
Yeah.
And they actually used it to settle a real world royalty contract and made the payment through the system. So no more waiting, months for invoices to clear. It's all automated and it's transparent.
That's huge. I mean, you're talking about taking something that's so fundamental to how this industry works, these royalty payments, and it's like going from, I don't know, carrier pigeons to high-speed internet.
And that's not even scratching the surface. It's amazing how quickly things are moving.
So I'm guessing with this kind of success, the big players are starting to take notice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's not just about the royalties. GuildOne has actually teamed up with some major players in the industry, names you would recognize: Chevron, ConocoPhillips, ExxonMobil.
Yeah. Okay.
And their goal is even more ambitious. They're looking at streamlining how these massive multi-billion-dollar joint ventures are managed.
Okay, now those joint ventures, that's a whole other beast, right?
A whole other beast. Yes, exactly.
Because you've got multiple companies with their own interests, their own agendas, and they're all trying to agree on how to spend, oftentimes mountains of money.
Right, and that's where the headaches come in.
That's where the fun begins, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And one of the biggest pain points that they've tackled is something called AFE balloting.
AFE.
Yeah, it sounds incredibly boring.
It does.
But it's actually a massive bottleneck in these projects.
Okay, so explain it to me like I'm about to invest in an oil well, all right. What is AFE balloting and why should I care?
Okay, so imagine you and a few friends. You pool your money to buy a vacation home together.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Right.
I'm invested.
And every time you want to renovate the kitchen, maybe add a new deck, everyone needs to agree on the cost, who's chipping in, how it's all going to work.
Right.
Now imagine that process, but with millions, even billions of dollars on the line. That's AFE balloting in a nutshell.
Okay.
It's how oil and gas companies in these joint ventures approve expenditures.
So high-stakes home renovation for oil tycoons.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see why they needed a better system. So how did they use blockchain to fix this?
So GuildOne basically took this whole thing and digitized it using their contracts technology. So instead of, paper contracts being shuffled back and forth, you've got this secure, transparent platform. Everyone can see the proposed spending. They can vote on it. They can track approvals in real time.
So no more, lost emails or forged signatures or surprise invoices.
Exactly.
That sounds like a dream, especially when you're talking about these huge projects with so much money on the line.
Yeah. And because everything is on the blockchain, it's all tamper-proof.
Right.
So it builds a level of trust between the partners, which is so crucial in these complex ventures.
Yeah, it's amazing to me to see how this technology, which, even a few years ago seemed so abstract, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was like this thing,
Right, yeah.
blockchain, you'd hear it and you'd be like, I don't really know what that means. But it's solving such concrete problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just this theoretical thing anymore.
It's real world application.
It's happening. Yeah, exactly. And speaking of which, I mean, GuildOne, they didn't just stop there, did they?
No, not even close.
Okay.
They took this AFE balloting system and thought, why not apply this to the entire joint venture management process?
Okay.
And that's where IJVM comes in, Integrated Joint Venture Management.
Okay, see, I have to admit, I love these acronyms. It's like we're learning a secret code word.
It's very mission impossible.
It is, right. Like we're revolutionizing an entire industry. Okay, seriously though, break down IJVM for me. What's the big deal?
So remember that big vacation home analogy?
Yeah.
So IJVM is like having a digital platform that manages everything from budgeting for repairs and upgrades to splitting utility bills to scheduling the cleaning service. It combines AFE balloting with another process called joint interest billing, or JIB, which deals with tracking expenses and figuring out, who owes what.
So it's like a one-stop shop for managing these complicated partnerships.
Precisely.
And it's all powered by the blockchain.
And it's all powered by blockchain. It streamlines everything, it reduces disputes, fosters better collaboration. And because it's all automated, it frees up time and resources so companies can focus on what really matters, which is finding and producing energy.
This is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, because we've gone from talking about digital royalty payments to like automating billion-dollar joint ventures.
I know, right?
In the span of 20 minutes. It's really incredible. Clearly GuildOne is kind of a pioneer in this space, but what about the bigger picture? Are other companies catching on? Are we seeing this more broadly?
Oh, absolutely. What GuildOne has done is proof that, this isn't just hype. Blockchain is a real solution to real problems that these companies are facing.
Yeah, it's not just some Silicon Valley buzzword anymore.
Exactly. And other companies are taking notice. I mean, we're seeing blockchain being used for everything from tracking oil and gas shipments to verifying the origins of renewable energy.
So this isn't just a niche technology. It's like you said, becoming core to how this entire industry operates.
It really is. And this is just the beginning,
Yeah.
Think about all the other industries that rely on these complex contracts and these transparent transactions and this secure data management. I mean, the potential applications are almost limitless.
That's what gets me excited is we talk about blockchain, and it's almost like we're witnessing the birth of a new technological era.
Yeah.
And to see it unfold in such a tangible way is really fascinating.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But before we get too carried away and start, planning for this blockchain-powered utopia, let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Sure.
How does all this stuff we're talking about, how does it actually affect the average person, the person listening to this right now who might not know a thing about blockchain or oil and gas? What's the takeaway?
That's a great question. And it's an important one because it's, these technological advancements we're talking about, they have real world implications for everyone.
Yeah, connect the dots for us. How does blockchain and oil and gas translate to benefits for me, the average person?
Well, a more efficient and transparent energy sector means lower costs for everyone. When companies can save money on their operations, when they can reduce waste, those savings can get passed on to consumers in the form of lower energy prices.
So cheaper gas, cheaper electricity.
Exactly.
Okay, that definitely gets my attention.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than just, saving a few bucks at the pump, right?
It's much bigger. Think about the bigger picture here. A more stable and secure energy supply that benefits everyone.
Right.
I mean, blockchain can help reduce the risk of disruptions,
Yeah.
price spikes, even geopolitical tensions that are caused by energy scarcity.
Okay, so less volatility, more predictability in a world that seems to be, increasingly unpredictable.
Exactly.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah.
And we haven't even touched on the environmental impact of all of this. Does blockchain actually hold the key to a greener energy industry?
It has the potential to, and that's what's so exciting. We're already seeing companies use blockchain to track emissions, to verify the origins of renewable energy, and even to incentivize sustainable practices within their supply chains.
So imagine like a world where you could trace the electricity that's powering your home, all thanks to blockchain.
Yeah.
Like it's like having a digital passport for your energy,
So
right?
exactly.
Proving that it's as clean as they say it is.
That's the idea, and it goes beyond just tracking, right? Blockchain can create these new economic models that actually reward sustainable practices. So
Yeah.
imagine oil and gas companies getting financial incentives for reducing their emissions or investing in renewable energy.
Yeah.
Blockchain could make that a reality.
Wow, we've gone from automating royalty payments
Yeah.
to like potentially reshaping the entire energy landscape.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a lot to process.
It really is. But before we wrap up, I do want to leave you with something to ponder. We've talked about efficiency, we've talked about transparency, sustainability. These are all crucial pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But what about energy equity?
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does energy equity have to do with blockchain?
Well, access to affordable, reliable energy. It's essential for economic development, but it's not evenly distributed around the world.
Right.
So what if blockchain, with its ability to level the playing field and empower individuals, could help change that?
So you're thinking even bigger picture, using blockchain not just to kind of like optimize an industry,
Right.
but to potentially lift communities and bridge this energy gap globally.
Exactly. Could blockchain help create a world where everyone, regardless of their location or their economic status, has access to the energy they need to thrive?
That's a powerful question, and it really speaks to the transformative potential of this technology.
Yeah.
That it's not just about, making things a little bit more efficient or a little bit cheaper. It's about building a more equitable and sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. Well said. And that's a perfect note to end on, I think.
Indeed. We've taken a deep dive into the world of blockchain and its impact on the oil and gas industry. But as always, the conversation doesn't end here. We've given you the insights, now it's your turn to explore. What possibilities do you see for this technology in the energy sector and beyond? Until next time.